Bless up, bless up, bless up. It's your little brother Prince Judavon Cosmon in the building, coming to share some more love and light and balance to the family, to the faith that's worldwide. You feel what I'm saying? Today, we're gonna get into another presentation in a second. We're gonna actually read a little bit today. First and foremost, shout out, much love, light and balance to the Millennium Zion students of the Creator's Kingdoms, plural. Students of Jehovah's Kingdoms, worlds without end. My friends, we are in for a lot of learning on this everlasting journey of life. And it's a fun one. We're going to enjoy it. So I wanted to come out and just shout out to the family that's been studying, been praying, still doing good, still wiggling up through the mud out the struggle. You know what I'm saying? Even through the concrete, the roses grow. So let's go. Let's stay in the light. Get as much of this as we can. Creative gang in the building. We already know. Salute from the bottom to the top, the righteous gods and Nirvanian goddesses. You dig what I'm talking about? The true gods and Nirvanian goddesses, not the false gods. Them little peon knucklehead Negroes and little girls, little bed wenches better learn something. Because the Creator is ever present in all places, and it's always higher than you. You might think you ruling and reigning over and enslaving, and you doing something with your little, think you got some knowledge. Getting people to worship you, and they can see you. Red flags all day. False God killers got the place surrounded. Created gang. You bring them, we raise them. You know what I'm saying? So the true gods and goddesses is here to do just that. And those of us who are in training, learning and growing through mortality, we learning with them, with their inspiration, and more importantly, the inspiration of the ever-present Great Spirit directly to your soul from all sides. The Creator is everywhere present, in all places, throughout all times. Yeah, we can understand that the Creator is not limited or bound by anything. All right, so all praises, man. We're going to keep learning and growing. And today, salute to Taz. I believe Taz made this this image that you see on the screen. This is a funked out sign of Jehovah. Normally on the cover of OSPI, which I got a picture of it here somewhere. I'll scroll over to it later on. But usually it's a leaf in the middle. You know what I'm saying? But that's funky. My bros, salute to everybody creating, using your talents and abilities to elevate the all in all, both mortals and angels, and that's me. This presentation today, we 3 minutes and 14 seconds in, may it be a benefit to all who are trying their best in mortality and those who've already graduated. May we all continue to strive in Creator's ever-present motion, thriving, striding, bounding, leaping, you know what I'm saying, limping. However you getting it down, man, let's just keep doing it for the great spirit, all right? So without further ado, let's hop over. I got my I got some stuff in here. I'm gonna work with y'all, show some of this work we've been putting out. But y'all, in the meantime, like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'm just your little brother, Prince Judavon Cosmon. We're gonna talk about this today. This is what I was looking for, one of the pages I'm looking for. We're gonna get into this a little bit. I got a system in order to this specific lesson. We're gonna jump first into the Ark of Bond, the book of the Ark of Bond in OSPI. And then after that, we're gonna go to the book of Inspiration, and we're gonna look at this celebration. It's a celebration. You know, how we can bring some light to the darknesses. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we're gonna get into this holy compact day, 4th of July later on, all right? So stay tuned, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Please leave your comments, man. It's all to the good. 4 minutes and 44 seconds. Let's jump over here. Get out of this. Welcome, peace, salute to everybody, man, in the building, man. You already know what it is. Creator Gang, Millennium Zion, we in this thing. Salute to the 4 horsemen. My big bros, you already know who they is by now. If you don't, you gonna learn. We right here doing this thing, man. We in the Ark of Cosmon today. We're gonna go back in time and read a little bit of what happened in the Ark of Bon, which was the previous cycle before Cosmon. Cosmon means balance. It's a 3,400 year span of time in which the balance of humanity and the spirits of our Earth's vortex will learn to balance. You know what I mean? Right now, it's a lot of chaos, a lot of darkness, but it's being washed away with the marvelous light of our Creator, ever present. It's time to level up. It's time to bless up. It's time to do good and learn how this thing is all put together, the system in order of it, all right? So we're going to do a special thing today. We're going to read in this previous time, this Ark history. And speaking of the Ark, salute to the Awakening Remnant Coalition. My uncle Maury Yoshiyahu Dawid and all the family over there that's still dragging Hebrews out the miry clay, helping them get back to the laws of the ever-present Great Spirit, the best ways that they know how. Salute to you, uncle. I love you, man. Now we in the Ark of Bon, right? This is right before this Ark time of Cosmon. All right, now let's just start reading. Before I read, let me say a little prayer real quick to the Creator. Heavenly Father, the all in all parent, all that was, is, and never shall be. I just want to say thank you for always being here to spark our minds and our intellect to the highest that we can conceive, freely, collectively, individually, and in our families. It's very important that we in this time establish your light the best we can, because we know what's right, we know what's wrong, and when we slip, help us to admit it and be accountable for our actions, and grown folk and even children, let them be mature, seeing their parents do well. All right? On the one, shalom. I haven't really prayed like that online in a while, but it's good to acknowledge that prayer is still powerful. And when we unite in our purpose as one, things get done. So let's work. All right, we are 7 minutes in now. Sorry for all the introductory jargon. Let's get to the study. All right, I'm gonna read this introduction, and then we're gonna drop down to chapter 7, I believe. And we're gonna deal with something in chapter 7. But I encourage y'all, download OISP for yourself. It's a powerful book. You ain't gotta believe no books. But if you're an intellectual like myself and many other people, because I rock with a squad of faithists, we are an organic body, as we all have been since, most of y'all got families. Y'all move as one, don't you? It's a unit. That's a principle of the Creator system and order and balance of creation. Even the ducks move as a unit in a perfect V. Woo! And they know exactly what time to fly south. Every year. I wonder how they know that. So let's keep it pushing. Book of the Ark of Bon, being a history of Capilia, Moses, and Chini, the three great leaders forth of the faithists in the time of Leka, son of Jehovah. As Leka's book is of the heavens, so was this book chiefly of earthly affairs in the administration of Leka, who was the god of the Ark of Bon, the son of Jehovah. So during this time of Ark of Bon, on the timeline of history, which I'm going to pull up in a second, to show you, we got a system in order to explain history that is really unprecedented. It ain't really nothing coming up against it. I've studied, because, I study hard. And I haven't seen no timeline that puts the history of Earth alongside the history of the heavens, or right below. Salute to El Voice Hooper. one of my favorite mentors of all times. Let me say this in the sidebar. He taught me a very important lesson as a child, studying the Bible, which was confirmed as I became a grown man. And even in OWASP, I watched this. He taught me as a kid to always study the Bible from heaven's perspective down to earth, not from earth's perspective looking up. And that gave me a vantage point as a child studying to always see it as above, so below, in a sense, right? Now, OWASP is special if you have the physical copy of OWASP. It's special in that it has a section at the top, and then it has a separating line, and then there's a section of text at the bottom. The top portion of OWASP's text is the heavenly histories, what's going on above our heads in the unseen world, what the gods and goddesses, lords, lordesses, ashars, guardian angels are doing along the plan of the Creator. What is the Creator's righteous, true gods doing up there? The angels. And what are and how are they inspiring the mortals on the planet below? See, this book is a powerful book because it gives that vantage point. So you read the top portion above the line, you're reading about what's going on in heaven. It'll blow your mind. Your muffin cap gonna be blue, peeled back like the whole veil of the sky, revealed before your corporeal and spiritual eyes. Never to be denied, because you know what you know. And if you don't know, you're going to figure it out. It's a matter of time. Either today in Cosmon or tomorrow. So let me say this. The bottom part of the book of Bond. So see on the screen right here on the page you have the Ark of Bond. The book of the Ark of Bond is the bottom section, right? Above it in the physical copy is the book of Lika, who was the god in the heavens, inspiring Moses, Capilia, and Chini, who was the prophet over in China, inspiring the inspiration of the Great Spirit to not kill, to love your neighbor as yourself, love Creator above all else, so on and so forth, which we're going to get to now. That's a perfect segue, so I can go into the lesson now. All right, so this is the book of the Ark of Bond. Y'all get your pens, papers out, screenshots, whatever you need. Get some water if you need to. We just kicking it. It's only 13 minutes in. That's not a bad introduction time. All right, so Book of the Ark of Bond, being a history of Capilia. Who was Capilia? That's a good question. So what we're going to do here, this is, let me just read this first. Being a history of Capilia, he was a prophet, as I said, with Moses and Chini, the three great leaders forth of the faithless in the time of Lika, the son of Jehovah. As Lika's book is of the heavens, like I said, the top portion, the book of Lika is of the heavens, history of the heavens. So was this book chiefly of the earthly affairs, of the administration of God. So what was going on in the heavenly administrations dealing with mortals on the earth, right? Everybody got guardian angels that inspire you, even right now. Jesus said that, don't mess with no little kids. Why? Because their guardian angels will report back to the Father, report to the higher ups. They over here manipulating the kids, hurting the babies. What are we going to do about that? Huh? That's why Yeshua said it's better that a millstone be tied about your neck and you be thrown into the ocean or the sea. Yeah. Yeshua was a hard man. If y'all didn't know that. I don't know what false messiahs these niggas been worshiping. Yeshua warned you about that too. It's going to be hella people talking about, I'm Jesus. He said, nigga, it's only one ever present Great Spirit. Yeshua said it, and that's our Father. And you can't see him. Huh? Jesus also said, no man has seen the Father. I digress. Nor heard his voice. like you hear my voice to your ears. No. Yeah. We're going to protect our children at all costs. Just know that over here. Salute to the creative gang. Salute to the fathers, sons, daughters. All the children need to keep an eye on our kids. Make sure that they grow in proper safety and peace, and joy and happiness and all that. All right, I digress to another place, but where was I at? So we're gonna drop down to chapter 7, Ark of Bond. That's we don't really hold too much to these pictures, but that's what John sketched. That's pretty crazy. They probably didn't even know. I don't know. Let me just keep going. But like I said, we don't care. We don't care what nobody look like. It's not about what nobody look like. What we're looking at here is a message. What did Capilla talk about, huh? Who cares what you look like, Capilla? You probably had a big ass head. Who knows? All this light coming up out your head. Let me see. We in chapter 6. All right. Is that right? Let me make sure I'm in the right chapter. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's supposed to be chapter 11. On the 1. On the 1. All right. Thank y'all for hanging in with your little brother so far. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, share, subscribe if you vibing with your band, man, because I just want to share some little bit of information real quick and inspire some joy, because this is a good day. It's some good times right now. We got 4th of July coming up, man, and we ain't slaves, nigga, to no gods, no man, no woman. No, we free. The Creator's chosen people are free, and whoever He frees is what? Amen. Free indeed. All right, here we go. Bless up. Chapter 11, Ark of Bond. Jehovah said to Capilla, my chosen shall not have kings. Hold on, Capilla. Who are you, bro? Why do I gotta listen to anything that you're talking about, Capilla? You're right. I really don't, right? So hold on. Let me just see if I get a little information on you real quick. I know I actually do know who you are. I know your father. All right, so Capilla, I'm gonna read this. This is not on the screen right now, but I have the actual OSP in my hand. I'm just gonna read this. This is found in the list of portraits on the first page, in the introductory pages of the Big Blue version. And it states that Capilla, found on page 389 in the Big Blue version, OSP, he is of India, and he was an Aisu. Aisu is the term that they snatched out the lower heavens to term Jesus. The false god was looking for, and we'll get into this later on, but the false god was looking for a way, a prophet that they could name to push their Christian sanity, right? They needed a name. They was thinking maybe we could try Abraham, we could try Confucius. What name we're gonna use? This is all happening in the lower heavens, by the way. And then they ended up saying, well, the term Aisu, it literally means like highly elevated. We can go into all of that, and I should, but I'm moving kind of fast, so I don't want to digress too much. But the term Aisu just means prophet. That's it. And usually Aisu has the ability to hear and see angels, and they usually have no sexual desires, whether right or left, female or male. They just married to Jehovah, and they higher level people, very peculiar. The Aisu, right? So Yeshua was Aisu. Not only Yeshua, but Capilla was an Aisu, the Jesus of India, if you will, during his time in the Ark of Bond, under the inspiration of Lika, the angel, who was at that time the true God of our earth. If you're getting some understanding, spin some vortexes. Once again, like, share, subscribe, man. I'm just trying to do what I can. All right, so Capilla was a prophet of India and Aisu, living more than 3,400 years ago. So this was 3,400 years ago. There was a man named Capilla in India who was an Aisu, who had the ability to hear and see angels, and he was high raised spiritually. In the cycle of Lika, he was a lawgiver who restored the believers in one great spirit to hold property and to have the same rights as the worshipers of the gods and the lords. So he was a revolutionary in his time, restoring the believers in the one great spirit to actually hold property and to have the same rights as the worshipers of the quote-unquote gods and the lords. They were separate people, those who worship gods and worship lords, and those who serve the one great spirit. And I'm just reading this introductions. I'm gonna keep reading. He was to India. Capilla was in India very similar to what Moshe was to the ancient Jews. And Moses was a foster child of the king of Egypt, so was Capilla a foster child of the king of India. And they both received a profound education. Sheesh. Salute. So Capilla was one of the prophets during the time of bond, very similar to Moshe, just like Moshe was revolutionizing, dragging people up out of Egypt, out of slavery, out of unjust systems of oppression. Capilla had that same heart, that same vigor, that same unction to function for his people, the Indians in India. Okay? He was an Aisu. All right, so this is what's going on with him in the Ark of Bond, chapter 11. Verse 1. Jehovah said to Capilla, my chosen shall not have kings. Creator said to his son, listen, my chosen shall not have kings. I, Jehovah, am king. As through Zarathustra, I gave rabbis and chief rabbis, so have I done the same through you. And their families are my families. To the unrighteous, I give kings and kingdoms of men. To the unrighteous, I give kings and kingdoms. For they who do not perceive me, who am the higher law, shall have that which they can perceive. That's the lower law. They can stay at that level. They'll be all right. They're going to get it eventually. Again, we can see this history in Israel. Biblically speaking, there was a time where the Israelites, the oralites, the spiritualites, not necessarily the Jews. See, there's a difference between Jews and Israelites, between Jews and spiritual oralites, between Hebrews and Israelites. There's a difference. There was a time when ancient Israel had no kings. We can put a pin in the history of Israel and go back to a time when they begged to be like the nations around them. Prior to that, their grandmamas and grandpapas had no kings. They said, we want us a king. Jehovah said, I am your king. But we know, but they got this, and they went over there, and they was strong, and they got this, and we want. He said, okay. Your king is in this garbage pile over there. Over there amongst the dung heap. Drag him out. To the unrighteous I give kings and kingdoms of men, for they do not perceive me, who am the higher law. For they who do not perceive me, who am the higher law, shall have that which they can perceive, which is the lower law. Verse 3, a kingdom. Whew. Let me tell you something, man. You think being a... Let me just read. A kingdom is thrust upon you, O... A kingdom is thrust upon you. What will you do? Verse 3 said, a kingdom is thrust upon you. What you gonna do? Capilla said, what shall I do, O Jehovah? And Jehovah answered, saying, permit yourself to be proclaimed at home and in the provinces, after which you shall ratify the laws. Then abdicate, and the kingdom shall fall into other hands. Capilla was proclaimed, known as King Capilla, and he abdicated. He said, oh, shit, what's up? I might as well arrange some stuff. I got a little power. Let's put this right here. Don't kill nobody over here. We're not going to do that. We're going to increase the peace. It's calm the, war is the mark of the beast. We're going to do families right, best you can. This is Capilla, you see what I'm saying? Just organizing stuff as a king. You didn't, okay, if I got that job, then let me do this right. And then Heliopius, I just say Heliopius, became king. And he became obliged to Capilla, so that the latter, though not king, stood as a protector over the Faithists. Even greater than Heliopius. Nor could any laws be enacted affecting the Faithists without the consent of Capilla. Jehovah has said, my people shall be a separate people. They shall live under my laws, mine, for I am their king. Man, that's facts. Salute to the Faithists who understand these things. We understand Jehovah's ever-presence, and his laws, his highest virtues, are always pressing upon our soul from all sides. Not just ours, but even the governments of men that rule over us are subject to the ever-present virtue of the Creator, whether they want to acknowledge their lowercase gods or acknowledge the Creator. It doesn't matter. Whether you see the sun shining or not, it's still shining. Stevie Wonder could tell you that. So we follow the highest light that we know of Creator everywhere we go, no matter where you at on the earth or in the cosmos. His laws are eternal in all places and spaces because he is in all places and spaces eternally. That's our Father. All praises. Now, the whole time from Capilla's first beginning of the restoration of the Zarathustrian Faithists until establishing a protectorate for them was 5 years. After this, Capilla traveled about, east and west, north and south, collecting together the scattered remnants of his people. And he established them in colonies and taught them not only rights. All right, Uncle Frank, hold on. Peace to you, Uncle. All right, here we go. What did Capilla do? After this, Capilla traveled about east and west, north and south, collecting together scattered remnants of his people, and he established them in colonies and taught them not only rites and ceremonies, but also taught the lost arts of what? Tilling the soil. Shovels, picks, rakes, hoes. Get them in the dirt and let's plant these seeds. And of making fabrics. Uh-oh, somebody saw that coming. Out of what? Hemp. Out of what? Hemp. Somebody saw that coming. Wool too. Ain't nothing wrong with borrowing a little bit of the wool off the back of a sheep. You ain't gonna have to worry about the lamb. We ain't spilling your blood over here. That's us. We had silk too. And he established schools. Look at that. And provided teachers for the people. So it was a lot of ministry work going on. This is not just somebody preaching. This is a Negro who got his hand to the plow, literally. Tilling the soil and making fabrics out of hemp, wool, and silk. And he established schools and provided teachers for the people. Capillius said, the first virtue is to learn to find Jehovah in all things. Now, this is the title of the show. 31 minutes and 1 second in, we hit the crux of this episode of Millennium Zion Students of Jaja Kingdoms. I'm going to put this on the Faith is Talk. Well, I might make a new one. No, I'm not going to put this on Faith is Talk because that's a whole different thing I want to do. But anyways, 31 minutes in, Capillius said this is the first virtue. So we got 12 virtues here. We're going to read all 12 virtues. And then once we get through this, we're going to skip over to the Book of Inspiration, look at Holy Cosmon Day, and end on the celebration for the nation and liberty, happiness, righteousness, right? So, but before we can party, you know what I'm saying? Now we can party however you get down, however you get down. You know what I'm saying? That's your liberty. But I'm just let's put some virtues out there first because we know we party hard. Let me slow myself down, boy. Slow down, jeez. All right, Capillius 7, chapter 11, verse 7. If you're liking what you're hearing so far, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. It's very important that we talk to each other and work through this together. We all in this thing together. Students of Millennium Zion, alongside the Credit Gang, the False God Killers. There's so many ministries we working with. You know what I mean? Trying to keep the planet together. Who else gonna do it if we don't? Who else got the light like this? You know what I'm saying? I'm just your little brother Chris. Don't worry about it. All right, let's get into the virtues of our Creator, man. Found here in Owaspy in the Ark of Bomb. Written down by the Prophet Capillia of India. Somebody turn on some yeah. Capillia was in there bouncing, boy. He said the first virtue was to learn to find Jehovah in all things and to love and glorify him. The second virtue is cleanliness. All people, old and young, shall bathe once a day. The third virtue is to eat no fish of flesh, nor other unclean thing. For what profit is it to bathe the outer part if one puts filth within? The fourth virtue is industry, because the Father gave man neither feathers, nor hair, nor wool. Let it be testimony of his commandment that man shall clothe himself. To clothe oneself and to provide oneself with food, these are enforced industry upon all people. And Jehovah not playing. You're going to have to work. You got to work. In addition to these, to labor for the helpless, not only for yourself, but for those less fortunate. To bathe them and feed them, and house them and clothe them. These are the volunteer industries permitted by the Father. Yeah, you volunteer that for free. Masa casa su casa. You know, even though I got to work for it. But you're going to have to learn. When you over here with me, you're going to learn how to work for yourself too. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about it. Keep going. Once again, verse 10. The fourth virtue was industry. Because the Father gave man neither feathers, nor hair, nor wool. Let it be testimony of his covenant that man shall clothe himself. To clothe oneself and to provide oneself with food. These are enforced industry upon all people. You want to plow the ground. We seen that in the book of Genesis. You know, in Adam's story, in there, he had to till the ground. Right? Ain't nothing new. OSB is nothing wholly new. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff in here we never heard before. And that's big, funky facts. But not all of this book is new to us. So, if it resonates with you, take it. If you don't, spit out. It don't matter. It's a book. The Creator is everywhere. The whole creation is the Creator's book. We're just independent atoms of the all-person. Sheesh. Don't ever forget it. All right, so we got the first virtue was to see the Creator everywhere and to love and glorify Him. Second was to keep your behind clean, keep your house clean, keep your dishes clean, your hair clean, your spirit and your mind clean. The cells of your body should be cleansed ever so often. I usually try to do a cellular cleanse every season change. So every quarter, I'll rinse out my body with fruits, vegetables, herbs, spices. Try to and at the same time try to clear my mind too, to think about positive stuff and do positive things. But that's a constant. You can do that every day if you want to. You don't have to do it 4 times a year. You see what I'm saying? How clear do you want to hear your Creator? That's up to you. And it can happen spontaneously, instantaneously. You know what I mean? All right. So, yeah, keep yourself clean. Bathe yourself once, twice, 3 times, however many times, but take a bath. The third virtue is not to eat no fish nor flesh, nor to eat no unclean thing. Now, it don't profit you to clean your whole body every day and brush your teeth, and then you put dead stuff all in your body. I'm just saying. Now, this takes time. It's nothing, like I said, it's patient. The Creator ain't, you're not on fire right now in hell, is you? You spooked out because I said don't eat no meat? Or or because Owaspi said don't eat meat, that just spooks you all the way out? Oh my God. Did he say that? Really? Your vampire God got you so twisted in your mind that's a terrible. No, it's not terrible. You could choose what you want to eat. Creator gave you choice, liberty. That's what we're going to get to at the end of this lesson, which is barbecues is going to be on. I already know. I'm not one to judge in a condemning way. I just know what Creator say, and we all got our better days. Better days are on the way. You know what I'm saying? I'm digressing a little taste. But the virtues of the Creator are not something that you can wink at necessarily, because just if the 10 Commandments would have had this in there, which it probably did originally, before the kings and the false prophets and the false gods started inspiring niggas to write faulty pens of scribes, scribbling and changing, rearranging, backdating and redate. They did all of that. And that's why we feel the energy that we feel sometimes when this person says something like, hey, thou shalt not kill. Now imagine Creator never told you this. Imagine we never got OSB. See, you imagine that light just turned off. And the billions of animals that are being slaughtered to this day, is the number's going up. It's probably in the 30 billion by now. Last time I checked the kill clock, the animals being slaughtered for food on the planet all over the world just in America, I'm sorry, not over the world, just in America, was about 30 billion. I remember the number was like 28 billion when I saw it last, so I'm sure it's probably 34, something about that high. So I'm saying, just to satiate your bellies, you know. But like I said, I ain't trying to ruin the party. I already ruined the party. I already messed it up. Dang it. But no, listen, the reality is simple, man. You could do what you want to do, but there is higher ways of life and living and promoting life. So this is the virtues of the Creator, man. I don't want to harp too hard on stuff because, like I said, I've been there, nigga. Trust me. I'm still struggling with tetrarchs that y'all don't even know about. I'm struggling with. You know what I mean? So it ain't no pointing fingers, ain't no blame game going on. None of that. We all dedicated to the same creator. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep reading. I'm talking too much. I'm doing a little soothsaying for whatever reason. The third virtue is to eat no fish or flesh, nor to any unclean thing. For what profit is it to bathe the outer part and then put filth within? The fourth virtue is industry. This is where I left off at. I don't even know how I got back to the top. All right. Work hard. Simple. You don't get feathers and fur. You got to make your clothes out of hemp. So, or whatever, cotton, right? So we have to learn how to do these things. And those people who are talented, man, I know girls today, women, knitting all kind of dope stuff. Making blankets, footies, hats, masks. I mean, that's the type of stuff that makes a person better. Just sit back and knit something. Meditate, pray, drink some water. Now you ain't in somebody's face yelling and nagging. You might still be talking outside your neck. But I'm just saying, it makes everything better when you got something to do with yourself. If you're a painter, yeah, go get you some paint brushes. We can do this in any type of industry. This is why the creator said, nah, they ain't gonna have no choice on that. You got to do something. I'm not even gonna give them clothes. They have no fur, no feathers. Guess what they're gonna have to do now? They have to work to put some clothes on. See that? And if you want to eat something rather than killing something, which is the beast nature of yourself, because we all got the beast nature too. You are the devil. You are a goddess. You just do your best to acquiesce to the highest light in the balance of it. That was a bar, by the way. You can have that for free. That's a gem from Judah. You can keep that. Just remember me when you pray on good things. What was I finna say, man? Yeah, you could choose, right? Where was we at? I'm sorry, I digress a little bit, y'all. Please don't hesitate to like, share, subscribe, comment. You know what I mean? You can clown too. I ain't worried about it. But you're going to have to work whatever you do. You better understand that you got to get your own food out the ground. Oh, that's what I was saying. If we start planting our foods and growing our own food, this energy been in the air for a long time. You see what I'm saying? We just absorbing it now because it makes more sense. So when we plant and grow from the ground, we ain't got to kill and knock nothing down. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I don't want to have nobody feeling down or turning up frowns and shit because they mad that they don't want to stop eating chicken. It's already there. You might as well chew on it if that's what you want to do. And then as you learning your diet, level up. So let me do this real quick. Let me do this while I'm talking, man, because let me do this. This is a little commercial break for a second. Everybody take a deep breath. This is a sponsor, Judas Bar Juice Bar. A message from our sponsors. See, there's an inspiration coming to the nation. It's been here for a while, but now I'm about to put it in my own way, and I've been doing it for a while consistently, just trying to inspire people to drink juice, drink fruit juice, berry juice, grape juice, cantaloupe juice, and watermelon juice. Eat your water, right? Because guess what? It comes from the stars. The energy in the apple is being cultivated via the light of the sun. So when you eat apple, it's already been cooked by the sun. So all those light code frequencies are now inside of you. The star seed that you are supposed to be can now grow because it has star energy from the fruit that grows from the red star, which is our earth. Yeah. Yeah. Revelations 22, verse 2. Whew. You gotta love them deuces. You want me? I like TNT. Oh yeah, I like them deuces. Revelations 22 said the fruit is for the healing of the nation. The leaves is for the healing of the nation. That's facts. Yeah, that's the ointment. Is there a balm in Gilead? Yeah, you eat it. Grow it. Grow your balm. Grow your aloe vera. You know what I'm saying? Grow your mullein leaf. Grow your balm. That way, when the times come when you're sick, or you can prevent it, or even be able to help somebody else. You are the healers of the world. The new world is being taken care of by those of us who have already healed ourselves. You won't have to pay for a doctor that's gonna lie to you and say you need to take this pill because of this, and we're gonna give you this bill because of that. You can heal because you know the alchemy of your father who gave it to Mama Earth when he created it. So drink you some juice from Judas Bar Juice Bar, inspired by yours truly, Millennium Zion student. Look at my baby girl, Aaliyah. Look at my baby girl, boy. That's my strength wrapped in her mama feminine beauty, boy. That Zion, that lion of Zion on her shoulder, letting her know, yeah, what that lion say? It says strawberries are rich in vitamin C and other antioxidants, which help reduce the risk of serious health conditions like cancer, diabetes, stroke, and heart disease. It's also an excellent source of magnesium, phosphorus. And remember, all berries are great for the cleansing of the brain. Yeah, your brain needs cleansing of neurotoxins too. Thank y'all for the berries, y'all. Yeah, I'm going to practice that. We're going to get that commercial purpose. And that's going to be the advertisement during the show. Whenever we get to that point where we got to talk about dead animals and diet and stuff, I don't want y'all feeling weird like, oh, he judging me for my... No. I'm not judging nobody. You can choose. If you want to be a Tyson, if you want to raise Tyson, you want to raise a nigga like Mike, get that nigga some steak and potatoes. Get him some steak and potatoes if that's what you so choose to do. And he gonna be ready to fight, knock niggas' heads backwards. Because that's how you raise a carnivorous man. You want to raise a fighter. You feed him making carnivorous. Simple. You're gonna be dangerous as hell. But if you want to raise a peaceful son, peaceful daughters, take them off the flesh and they'll calm down. Put them on astringents like grapes, green grapes, key limes, pomegranate, tangerines, mangoes, oranges, grapefruits, apples, pears, peaches, pineapples. Those are astringent fruits, which the word astringent means to shrink tissues. So even if you are heavy set and you want to shrink your tissues, your fat cells, you want astringent fruits in your diet. And it's a list of them right there. You can screenshot that for free. Just remember to pray for me. You know what I'm saying? Your antioxidants is what give you oxygen after you've detoxified and pulled the toxins. After you've detoxified and pulled the toxins from your cells, you want to hydrate your cells, oxygenate your cells, which provides protection for your cells. And you get oxygen from high oxygenated berries, raspberries, blackberries, strawberries, mulberries, juniper berries, cherries, goldberries, persimmons, bearberries, rosehip berries, all types of, even cherries. I should have put cherries on there because cherries are berries as well. High oxygen helps repair the cells that have low oxygen, which would be called cancer cells. Any cell that's depleted of 66% of its oxygen is cancerous. That means all of us got cancer because you got dry cells on your body right now that have no oxygen because they didn't dry it out, right? So you want to oxygenate, keep your cells oxygenated. After you've pulled out the toxins from the cells, you put the oxygen in there to freshen it up. Then you got your phytonutrients, which rebuild and energize those same cells, which is the melons, which is going to give you all your antioxidant. Your amino acid structures. Simple amino acid structures are found in all melons. Aminos are the building blocks of proteins. So if you want to get shredded, ripped, buff, strong, not only physically, but spiritually Eat your melons, melon head. What's wrong with you? Who raised you? Judas Bar, Juice Bar, coming through a city, nation, world, galaxy near you. Bless up. All right, back to the lesson, man. Let me get back over here. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Like, share, subscribe. And know Jehovah is always abiding. We are in him, he is in us. Let's keep it pushing. All right, so now we did the fourth virtue, which is industry. Now let's drop down to chapter 11, verse 11 on the 1. One of the rabbis asked him, what was industry? What is it? What's industry? Capillia said, to keep oneself in constant action and to a profitable result. To raise before the sun and bathe and perform the religious rites by the time the sun rises. So wake up in the morning, do your prayer, do your stretching, your berry eating, whatever you do. And then go labor. Not severely, but pleasantly. Go to labor, not severely, but pleasantly until sunset. Yeah, my dad had that on the 1. We worked from sun up to sundown. My grandpapa, all of us. And it wasn't no severe work. We enjoyed work. Matter of fact, in the Essene Gospel of Peace, or the Nazarene Acts of the Apostles, it states that there is no greater place in the world than where people are working together. That's the highest light of joy you're going to find. Industry. People working together in harmony. Bro, when it's done the right way. You ain't gonna find no better day you didn't went out all day and worked hard with your homies, with your partners, with your friends. You made a lot of money. You brought it back home to your family, to your lady, to your kids, went to watch the movie. See, all of that came because y'all came together to work together. Unity. Teamwork make the dream work. There's no greater joy. That's what the Essene Gospel of Peace talk about. Y'all need to go check that book out. Hold on, let me do this real quick. Because I got my clips now. You know what I'm saying? I got my clips now. And since we at Judagate, we can share these things. This is the book right here. The Essene Gospel of Peace is one of the books that talks about Yeshua in his Nazarite light, the Nazarene, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, we read everything over here. We got all these, the Gospel of the Holy 12. I believe these two books are the same text, same story, just different titles. But yeah, it's your brother, man. We in this thing. So let's get back to this. I appreciate y'all being patient with me, man. This is a new way of me rocking out because I don't got no laptop right now. So I just say I'm going to work this phone the best way I can. You know what I mean? All right, so the fifth virtue now. We did the fourth virtue. Did we do the fourth one? Oh, we did the first half of the fourth one. Verse 111, chapter 11, verse 11. One of the rabbis asked him what was industry. To this, Capillia replied, to keep oneself in constant action to a profitable result, to rise before the sun and bathe and perform the religious rites by the time the sun rises, and then to labor, not severely, but pleasantly, until sunset. Love your work. If it's hot, you better love it. If it's raining, you better learn how to love it. You ain't got to do it in severe, extra heat, man, energy. I remember them days, though. Them fun days. And, you learn to balance, but, yeah, it's have fun, man. This is industry. The industrious man finds little time for Satan's inspiration. See that? They say something about the idle mind is the devil's playground. We've been known that axiom. You dig? So do something good with your hands. Get out and find some work to do. Make some money for yourself. I'm out here getting money with the fellas. You should try it. But you out here under one umbrella getting fried. Boy, you better learn how to have multiple streams of income. The fifth virtue is of the same kind, which is to work, to labor, right? There shall be no rich among you. But I want to be rich. Look, watch this. There shall be no rich among you, but all shall labor. Ain't nobody just sitting up on a mountain looking, nigga. Let me slow down. The fifth virtue, I gotta slow down. I'm doing too much. The fifth virtue is of the same kind, which is labor. There shall be no rich among you, but all shall labor. As reasonable labor develops the strength of your corporeal body, so also by the act of labor, the spirit of a man develops beneficial growth for its habitation where? In heaven. So through work, not only do you develop your physical body and strength and rip abs and whatever, your spiritual man develops beneficial growth for its habitation in heaven. For I declare unto you a great truth, which is that the idle and the rich who do not labor the corporeal body, they got people working for them all day long, they ain't doing nothing but sitting up. They are born into the heavens helpless as babies. See that? You thought it was all gravy being rich with your feet kicked up all day like you was doing something. You ain't doing nothing and you ain't growing nothing. When you die, you're going to need everybody to help you figure out how to build and figure out how to clean and figure out, how come you didn't learn that when you was immortal? Oh, because you was rich. That's why you was up here not understanding how to use a broom. What? You don't know how to sweep a floor? You got to be joking. Oh, nigga, I'm not teaching you that in the spiritual world. You better learn that right now, today. The sixth virtue is, no, check this out. This had my mind blown when I first read this sixth virtue. The sixth virtue, which is greater than all the rest. I was like, what? First of all, the first virtue was to find creator in all things. Frankie, I'm calling you right back, Frank. I got to finish this lesson, Frankie. Let me text. I can't do that right now. I'm going to call you right back, Frank. Just give me like 15 minutes, bro. I really didn't want to rush this. All right. Here we go. The first virtue in this thing was to see creator in all things, right? So when I got to verse 12, verse 13, and it said the sixth virtue was greater than all the rest, I'm like, what? And it is what? The abnegation of self. Nigga, that's heavy. Without abnegation, no man can have peace of soul, neither on earth or in heaven. Consider what you do, not that it shall profit yourself, but whatever it will benefit others, even as if you were not one of those benefited. Without the sixth virtue, no families can dwell together in peace. You have to learn to be selfless. That, it brings a song to my mind from India RE, which is perfect as India, because Kapilya was in India teaching these principles. These 12 virtues were taught by an Indian prophet in India during the time of the Ark of Bond by the inspiration of the God, son of Jehovah, whose name was Lika. Salute. Your line of light is still lining and aligning us on the one great spirit. Now, India RE has a song called Beautiful. I think it's called Beautiful. In the lyrics of the song, she says, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I want to go to beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Go to beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Right? And in the song, she says, I want to go to a place where I am nothing and everything. that exists between something little, whatever she said. She said, but that's basically she says a bunch of stuff in that verse. But she said, I want to go to a place where I'm nothing, and but yet I'm everything. And it's a heavy concept of self-abnegation. You know what I'm saying? Like, to cut your own name off. Like, don't mention it. And it's very simple. It's really that simple. Like, you ain't supposed to be out here doing your alms for the poor in front of everybody to be seen. But to do it selflessly is to just do it. Get it done. You ain't worried about what I got to get done. Just let me help you get this done. Whatever it is. And no family can ever even exist properly without self-abnegation. I'm sure I can say this in other ways, but the bottom line is, we all need each other, and everybody, you can't just be selfish. You'll never get along with nobody being selfish, focus on self. So the more you can put yourself away, that is the highest virtue. Than even seeing Creator in all things. Damn. That's, like I said, that hit me different yesterday, man. I was really tripping on that for a second. All right, so let's dwell together in peace and learn how to be selfless, all right? That's a practice. It's a very high virtue. The seventh virtue, which is love, is when you speak, consider whether your words will promote love. If not, then do not speak. Simple. Consider if this is going to promote love. Well, I say this. And most of us, we could do that on so many different levels. You know what I mean? But you don't have, it is what it is. All right, let me keep running, man. Love is the seventh virtue. What's the seventh virtue? Love. And when you speak, consider your words. If your words will promote love. If not, then do not speak. But if you shall have how many enemies? If you do that virtue, how many enemies you going to have? None. All the days of your life. And I know that's for a fact. I got a mom who speaks life. Been doing it and is known for it. Other people praise her for it. Sound like a Proverbs 31 Yasam woman to me. Salute, mama. Love you. So yeah, man, I'm just saying, we all got mamas. Your mama's my mama, my mama's your mama. I don't know how many black mamas right now is just speaking life in the earth today. Right now, from angels and mortals. It's a virtue to be able to consider your words, to take every thought captive, and if it's not beneficial to the promotion of love, you could just toss it out your head and keep your mouth shut. Karen. But I don't like how they're over there doing that with the boom-bitty bap and the bappity boom. They look like they're just dangerous. Are they safe? How about you go over there and say hello? How are you? Instead of being prejudiced and speaking hatred and being a hater. Karen, what's wrong with you? Learn from a black woman to speak and promote love. It's something like this. R-E-S-P-E-C-T, find out what it means to me. R-E-S-P-E-C-T, take it T-C-B. Suck it to me, suck it to me. There's a little bit, just a little bit of love. Just a little bit. You ain't got a lot, nah, but just use what you got. Love, 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 just a little more love. Yeah. And you shall have no enemies all the days of your life. But if you can justly say a good thing about a man, do not be silent. This is the secret to win many loves. You fly, bro. That's funky, my dude. Sis, keep doing that. That is you. That is you. That smile right there. Keep doing that. You do that, learn to be an encourager. See, that's a gift. I never forget. Salute to the mother of my children. She actually has a gift of encouragement that's really unmatched. Always just, she just didn't do it to me. I'm just playing. No shots fired, but it's just like, people have that gift to encourage others, and that's very, very, very good thing. Don't ever stop. Keep doing that. All right. Now here we go. Parental discretion is advised. Right. The eighth virtue is discretion, especially in what we were just talking about, your words. How you speaking? Right. It's a time and a place for many different types of conversation, but use your discretion. The eighth virtue is discretion. The eighth virtue is what? Discretion. You already know these lessons. Most people today in Cosmon, we was born to be able to understand and comprehend to our very core the inspiration within to discern if something is good or bad. And how are we speaking? Is it good words, bad words? We've been heard say, don't say that. That's a bad word. Since we was infants, right? So we was already wired to have discretion as a virtue that we can activate today, right now, especially in words. So consider well when you speak. And if all men would do this, you would be surprised at the wisdom of your neighbors. Discretion is a regulator. Regulators. And without it, man is like a tangled thread. See? A lot of people tangled up in their minds because they don't use discretion. They just run around here just saying whatever, doing whatever, listening to whatever, eating whatever. And when it comes down to, other people who have discretion looking at them, they're like, man, these boys tangled up. You know what I'm saying? But we not tangled over here. We know how to we know how to untie knots. We learning. We got discretion. We know how to avoid the knots. How about that? All right. The ninth virtue is system and order. The ninth virtue, system and order. A weak man, it's the principle, a weak man with system and order does more than a strong man without them. Yeah? Sound right? Sound about common sense? That a person that has a system in place and a way, a order, a routine, a way of doing things, even if he's weak or sickly or whatever, can do more than a strong man that ain't got no system, going willy-nilly here and there. Yeah, nah, that ain't gonna. The weak man is better off. That's the seventh virtue, system and order. I mean, the ninth virtue, I'm sorry, the ninth virtue, system and order. Right? And there's a system and order to all of the mechanisms of creation. It starts with the rotation. Right? The 10th virtue is observance. Salute to the Pisces, the great observers with them watery eyes. Them ones that observe spiritually, not only corporally, but salute to the Pisces, man. Y'all don't know. Y'all better start learning something about yourselves. They like to, people who observe, that's a virtue, to sit back and observe a thing. Wise men sing, only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Yeah, so the 10th virtue is observance. Only a fool just rushes into a thing. Wise people sit back, they feel it out, they observe it. They use that virtue of observance to see. And if with observance a man accepts from the ancients those things that have been proven to be good, such as rites and ceremonies, and without observance a man begins back with even the earliest ancients, and thus casts aside his profit in the new world or in the world. So what that's basically stating is that if you don't know your history, or hold on, let me say it like this. If you don't look at your history, right, and know it, learn it, then you're going to be missing out, because you're going to be going back over the stuff that we already passed. See what I'm saying? So like if you ain't been in class, you ain't been studying your history, then you might be running around here like these Hebrew Israelites today that's still trying to establish New Jerusalem on earth, or however you want to put it. They still teach us stuff. We already passed that. Not to say they just that's where they're at. And they still going through it. I ain't trying to cap on nobody right now. I wish we could. Trust me, I got clips all day. But I'm just saying that's a way of understanding. Like when you see somebody stuck in their ways, let's put it like that, or going back over stuff we didn't already went over. I think Big Brother Malachi says something like you giving over warmed over soup, something soup warmed over, twice warmed over, something like that. You regurgitating the same stuff we didn't heard thousands of years because you ain't looking toward the future, right? So you got to be looking. You got to have observance. Keep your eyes open. Keep your head on the swivel. Listen to the streets, what the streets is talking about. You know what I mean? All right, so be observant. Bless up on the one. Let me there's a reference number here, 1071. Let's check out what that says. That is, cast aside his advancement in the world. This can be likened to chasing aside wheels, and therefore casting aside wheels, and therefore anything that depends on wheels. Right. If continued, man could lose knowledge of wheels, including their desirability, and eventually, if he would advance, he would have to reinvent the wheel. Reinventions built with it, inventions built with it, the gears, the transportation, etc., and the social order built upon them. Observance concerns beneficial spiritual practices. See? The beneficial spiritual practices, like Shabbat, taking time to just have a day dedicated to the Creator. The Shabbat day is instituted by the rabbis. Just like in Capilia's day, Jehovah said, I gave y'all rabbis. I gave you fathers, chief rabbis, grandfathers. I didn't give you no kings. Right? And the rabbis taught us certain observances, certain ceremonies to keep. You know what I mean? So observant, you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater, because then you're going to have to come back and do it all over again. Why would you do that? Observance concerns beneficial spiritual practices, so that man, in casting them aside, foregoes not only their immediate benefit, but eventually loses knowledge of them, their purpose, benefits, and advances built upon them, thus casting aside his profit, advancement, and accumulated benefits in the world. See, everything stacks up, so we saw a prerequisite. You don't forget it, you just add to it, keep going. And so if he would advance, he must start again. Then we got to go all the way back to the 10 Commandments again. You should know that from within, from infancy up today, right now. If OWASP is a true book at all, then the babies of today should be already understanding thou shalt not kill. We shouldn't have to teach them that. You see what I'm saying? Over and over and over. Why is the, but not only you're looking at our own kids, but look at the planet, humanity as a whole. Look at Ty. Ty don't need to be told not to kill. The highest light of all humans, consciously in S and mortality, man, come on, man. We're not going to go back and start all over again. But everybody is where they at. And guess what? Creator is. Creator don't mind teaching constantly to his children. Because guess what? That's new kids being birthed every day. So these lessons are recurring lessons. But the idea, I think, here is just to not throw the baby out with the bathwater, so we don't have to start again from a rudimentary and undeveloped state. And that goes with, obviously, it's a virtue. So it's not just about spiritual, but even your talents. You know, I still love going over my scales, but I shouldn't have to teach myself where my A note is every 5 seconds. Once I got the A note down and I got the routine of practicing down, then I should be able to go through that routine constantly and get better every day in advance. So we got to observe the ancient doctrines and not add or take away like the Bible said, but yes, progress with the Creator's ever presence, all right? Because we're growing. Okay, the 11th virtue, finally, dang, almost done. And then I got to go to this other spot real quick, and then we're going to get up out of here. All right. Then I got to call my boy Frank. So I'm trying to move quick, y'all. Thanks for being patient. If I'm rambling on, I pray that y'all still get some understanding. And if you are, feel free. Hit that like button. Share this video to somebody who might be considering OSP or just, whatever. Somebody you think is on this type of truth and light. It might be a benefit for them. That's what this whole thing is about. I pray for it to be a benefit to both mortals and angels. It's as we all strive to do our best to get these 12 virtues and everything else that's good for us that the Creator got from whatever book. And we going to obviously use our discretion if we see something in the text that ain't all the way on the one. We're going to question everything. All right, so let's keep it pushing. Straight up and away. The 11th virtue is discipline. The discipline for the individual and the family. He who does not have discipline is like a racehorse without a rider. You ain't got no governor. Nobody to say, whoa there. Or, yeah. A time to rise, a time to eat, a time to pray, a time to dance, a time to work, labor. These are good in any man. Get up and eat. That's good for you. Have time to say some prayers for your family. That's good. Get down a little taste. Let's dance. Tylia, let's go. Let's go to work now. All these, any of these is good for any of us and all of us. But the family that practices them together in unison, in unity with one another has discipline. Now, I got an auntie, boy. I love my auntie Pam. And she just tell her kids, you want discipline? She just tell her that. My mom would just simply say, boy, you want a whooping? And my auntie would be like, you tell her kids, y'all want discipline? And it kind of made it seem to me as a kid, I was like, discipline is not a bad thing. Discipline is a good thing. It's actually one of the virtues of the Creator. So it was a kind of a trick question for the kids because they like, well, yeah, I'm supposed to be disciplined, right? So yeah, I want discipline. But I don't want to get a whooping, dog. But I want discipline. But I don't want a whooping. I'm going to be more disciplined. See that? But it's just, yeah, we got a whole book in this OSP called The Book of Discipline, by the way. That's fire. The 12th virtue. This is the last one. No, I'm sorry. The 11th virtue is discipline. The discipline for the individual and in the family. And he who does not have discipline is like a racehorse without a rider. They ain't got no governor. You need discipline to tell you when to calm yourself down. Take discipline to say, no, let me not do this. Let me put the reins, pull the reins on the, you know what I'm saying? That's take discipline, right? But it's a take it how you will. It'll go a lot of ways. I'm just explaining in my little funky way. Hopefully it encourages, inspires y'all. I'm almost out your way, I promise. Let's get out of here. All right. Yeah. Keep disciplining your families for unity, right? The 12th virtue, I was on the one, I was right. All right, the 12th virtue is like discipline, and it is obedience. All good and great men are obedient. Yeah, you gonna mind somebody. Every good man want a good mentor to tell him, hey man, this is what I went through. Try this. Oh yeah, you want to be obedient to that wisdom that you hear from one of your great grandmothers when she whisper in your ear, boy, you need to understand this one thing. And you're going to be obedient to that. When you hear the Creator's voice straight to your soul, you're going to learn all good men, all good and great men had to learn to be obedient. Ain't that right, mama? Ain't that right, papa? Great grandmama, grandmama, ain't that right? All the sons that y'all raised to be great and good men learned obedience at your backhands. He who boasts about his disobedience to discipline is a fool, literally a madman. Greater and better is the weak man of obedience than the strong man of defiance. Greater and better is a weak man of obedience than the strong man of defiance. For the first promotes the harmony of the family, but the outer, you're out of here. But the other ruptures it, and that's usually how it ends. Consider these 12 virtues. Consider it, man. Y'all ain't got to believe it. Consider these things coming from Kapilia all the way from India during the Arkaban. What was it, 3,000 years ago, did it say? Was it 3,000 years ago or 4,000 years ago? I will check the record, but it was a long time ago. He was saying this, teaching this via the inspiration of the Creator. He said, consider these 12 virtues. They are sufficient laws for what? The whole world. Man may multiply books and laws forever, but they will not make the family or colony or state happy without the adoption of these 12 virtues. If y'all got some understanding coming from your little brother Prince Judavon Cosmon on these 12 virtues, spin some vortexes in the chat. Drop a 8,000 if you can't spin a vortex yet. You know what I'm saying? That was the Arkaban, chapter 11, dealing with the prophet Kapilia from India, teaching the 12 virtues of the one ever-present Great Spirit. Let me go up here because I do believe I can show you Kapilia if it shows you here, because I read it earlier, but I don't know if I can go up here on the plates. Let me see if it shows. Oh, wait, I was just right there. I'm tripping. Hold on real quick. Thank y'all for joining me, man. Once again, y'all can go get you some water for a little second. I'm going to go to this next section of this lesson, and then we're going to get right back at it. I'm looking for the plates. Let me see, where is it? We got that good stuff in Cosmon era. Here we go. He doing that. In the meantime, here we go. That's where we at. Yay. Kapilia, y'all see his name? Salute. Let's check him. Yeah, I was just right here. So yeah, y'all can see this. But I wanted to show you the other part, but it might just be in the big blue version. But this is Kapilia. Supposedly that's a sketch. You know, but we don't really care about what he looked like. Kapilia of India and Aisu, living 3,400 years before the Cosmon era in the cycle of Lika. So y'all can see Kapilia right there. And this whole book, the Arkaban, the first couple of chapters is all about his life. You can go back and read it if you like. Download the book yourself. We got so many books. And believe me, y'all, we got a library. So y'all can, if we got people who want to share, you know, we can do a book club. Y'all got some dope books y'all done found. You can feel free to share with the Millennium Zion students if you're Jaja's Kingdoms, and we will definitely get into it, you know what I'm saying, and get out of it what we can to elevate. All right. So, yeah, we did that. If you stayed in this long, you are a trooper. I promise you that. I salute to you. I love you, man. Woman, whoever you are, y'all listening to me, your little brother, I appreciate y'all coming through. Salute to the students of Millennium Zion. And salute to the Creative Gang. We know what we do and how we do. You already know how we do, so let's get it. Now we're going to jump to the book of inspiration. All right. Let me get a little sip of this. No broth. Already. Back at it once again. It's your little brother Prince Devon with the second portion of this lesson on today in the book of inspiration. We're going to inspire the nation to celebration now. And I want y'all to have fun. Creator obviously wants us to have fun and enjoy life. And enjoy, guess what? Liberty. Creator ain't about no slavery. I don't know about that Jehovah over here in OSP that we talking about. Our creator, the ever present, all was, all is, and ever shall be. He ain't about no slavery. About liberty. Yeah. Straight up. Freedom. Be free. Cut everything off out your life that's not positive or not beneficial to you. Cut it off like a God would. Oh, hell no. I ain't have none of that. None of it. See that? You start to turn your God energy on. But we still in training. We ain't got the resumes of a true God. Not even close. But the whole point is that you have the ability now to discern, to use your discretion, to love, to say, man, I ain't with that. Standing 10 toes on Creator. Like, what are we talking about? Freedom. To do good. Today, right now. Without the fear or the intimidation or the condemnation on your head of a false God. We are false. I'm a part of a very, very talented group of people with very special skills. FGK all day. We don't play, you know what I'm saying? So, true God, salute. Matter of fact, if you already know, let me just give you this little bit of information. I might charge you for this one. Just playing. But the God of the earth today, the reason why so many people's prayers aren't being answered the way that they feel like they should be answered or whatever, is because they're praying to the wrong God. Or, first of all, you ain't supposed to pray to God anyway. The gods don't want your prayer. Number one, understand that. Unless it's just, about harmony to the whole, that's different. But not for worshiping them. That's like you calling me Chris. I just worship you so much. I need you so much. I just worship your everything about you. I'll bow down to you forever. I just need you to help me do this. Nigga, what did you just tell? What? You done lost your milli marbles in your dome. Your muffin cap is wilding right now, bro. I am not your savior. Nigga, don't you ever pray to me. In that instance, you call me, nigga. We got a conversation about some shit. Pray together to Yahuwah. Your great spirit, Jehovah. However you call his name, don't matter to me as long as you understand he ain't no man like me. Okay? Yeah, really, boy. It's a celebration of education, liberation, and elevation of our spiritual grades. Right? The 4th of July, hold on. We used to say the 4th of your lie. I might even go a little bit deeper than I was planning on doing, but hold on, let me do this. Let me go back over to where we was at with the imagery. Oh, wait, let me take this off. I'm really gotta get used to this using my phone. But it's cool. It's not too shabby, man. Oh yeah. My Uzi clips. So this is where we at, y'all. Salute to the students of Millennium Zion in the Cosmon era. This 4th of July is gonna be fun. Oh yeah, fireworks popping off. Jollification throughout our holy nation. From top to the bottom, man. Listen. Salute to my boy FGK Capone for the infographic, for the image of me on the guitar. That's tight. I love that. One nation under a groove, indivisible, unified. with liberty and responsibility to all, to move for the all in all. Yeah, we trying to uplift everybody. We want everybody dancing, everybody singing, everybody grooving, everybody doing good, with freedom to create, to serve, to worship the Creator only in harmony and beauty. Yep, that's 4th of July. That's what we're about to read about it right now. What Osby talks about at 4th of July. And we also gonna go a little bit. I might go a little bit deeper in the book of S, just to see. Let me check that out real quick right now. Matter of fact, while I'm doing this, y'all type that. Y'all can screenshot that and share it out. Definitely share the video. Let me know what y'all think in the comments about that photo too. Like I said, we got some people in our Creative Gang family and the Millennium Zion squad. I mean, we got people everywhere. I mean, we got soldiers all over the world. But everybody's creating. That's the whole point, man. Everybody is enjoying their talents and their activation of superpowers, what we would call, quote unquote, special gifts, spiritual gifts. Enjoy the activation and practice, and we're gonna get this thing. We're gonna get this thing right. All right, so yeah, we got music coming out. Creative Gang music. I got family and friends working on albums, cousins, nephews. Man, we got so much good stuff to have fun, right? And that's what it's all. We on the run. It's a lot of bad stuff going on in the world, so you know that you gotta have time for recreation, or you'll go crazy trying to save everybody with that big old smushy heart of yours. That is you, ain't it? Salute to everybody in the chat, man. I love y'all indeed. And the truth. Let's keep doing good. So I wanted to share. I might read a little history of what happened in the book of S, dealing with George Washington. It's so much history in Osby, y'all. Y'all gotta. I mean, you ain't gotta do nothing but stay black and die, right? Hold on, real quick. We had chapter 10 of the book of S. There. Give me a second, you guys. Yeah. I thought it was chapter 8, but I believe if we go to the book of S, which I might do, this is just a sidebar, y'all. I wasn't planning on doing this, but I might run over here to the book of S just to show you a little bit of what was going on in America from the heavenly perspective. But I don't want to be. I might do it. It's all so funky. Oh, here it is. I think this is it. All right, let me read this real quick, and let me put it back on the screen. I really appreciate y'all hanging in with me this long. This is one of the longer videos I've done. We're an hour and 30 minutes in, and I'm doing the closing section now. We had Holy Compact Day. So this is Holy Compact Day is what we call the 4th of July. If you never heard it before, the 4th of July. Right. So on the 4th of July, we celebrate Holy Compact Day, aka the day of the Holy Seal, which is the day of the American Constitution. Okay? Let's see. Chapter 15 in the Book of Inspiration, OSB, Holy Compact Day. 15 verse 1 says, as Jehovah, through his God, bequeathed the children of Gautama a government unfettered by the name of God, Lord, or Savior, so Jehovah sanctified the day of the ratification and the signing and sealing of his compact, which is the American Constitution. He ratified it as the day of the Holy Seal. And we got, what do we got? We got a reference number right there. So let's do that. Let's check the reference number. Hold on. How do I get off this pen? All right, boom. Oh, it says see explanation after the end of the book of inspiration. So let's see where it's at. Holy Compact Day. So we're going to read the history of this real quick, and then we're going to go back up. History of the Holy Days, as compiled by the Modern Series editor. All right, Holy Compact Day here on the 4th of July, right around the corner. We're going to see the sparks fly. As Jehovah, through his God, bequeathed to the children of Gautama and government unfettered by the name God, Lord, or Savior, so Jehovah sanctified the day of the ratification and the signing of the sealing of his holy compact, which is the American Constitution. Did y'all know Jehovah inspired the Constitution? It was inspired by the Creator? That's his words? That's the day of the Holy Seal. We'll put your John Hancock there. When he signed that seal, that was a holy time. And Jehovah said, remember this day, Zakar and Shamar, keep it holy. Guard it to the end of the world, for this day was the beginning of the liberty of man. You see that? 1776, July 4th, 250 years ago, was a holy day to be remembered as the beginning of what? The liberty of man. No slavery. See, we don't have no day commemorating slavery. That's what we thought. We thought they was lying about the 4th of July. We thought white people came over here and then took our stuff, which they did. But now we're getting a different perspective on the details behind it all. The Creator said, I need a land, want a land, have created a land, made a land special for the liberty of all humanity. And the land is called Gautama, aka America, where, guess what? Liberty began. Started with slavery, though. Not started with slavery. It's always been, that's another thing that's crazy. It's always been a land special for that, since that continent was sucked right next door where them earthquakes and all them volcanoes about to erupt, possibly having seismic activity over there. During that time, after them folks that were saved came over here, they met their family and friends that was already here, native to this country. This was what, 24,000 years ago? Right? 25,000 years ago, roughly. It's always been set aside as a promised land for liberty. Yeah, America is our land. This is our homeland. This is our promised land. The land where we can be free to be who we want to be. In righteousness, right? To the best of your ability. You can even be the wickedest person that you want to be over here, if you want to. You got that liberty, but with your liberty comes what? Responsibility. So whatever you choose, you're responsible for you, your choices. Everybody got choices. I choose liberty. On the 2nd in 1788, which is interesting again, for me specifically, because I was born in 1988, exactly 200 years and a month and 30 days, 11 months and 28 days. So 200 years, 11 months, and 28 days after this record was my birthday, June the 12th, 1988. In the land of America, the president of its then current government on July 2nd, 1788. In the land of America, the president of its then current government, the Congress of the Confederation, speaking on behalf of and for that government, formally announced that the heavily debated Constitution was now in effect. In other words, from that time forward, it was irreversibly the core document around which America's government would form itself, thus sealing the fate of the American states and people, and known from then on as the United States of America. Interesting, because if you know American history of who the American prophets were, you got to shout out to Iwata, right? Iwata also ate water. You know what I mean? But he was a prophet in America who actually established the government of the original Confederate States of America. United States of America was established by a copper-colored Algonquin prophet of Jehovah, son of Jehovah, named Iwata. You can have that for free. Just remember to pray for me. When you learn about Iwata, it's going to blow your mind. If you didn't know who Iwata was, whose name is spelled Ewata. He's also called Hiawatha in other places. But he was the one who established. Let me just read about Iwata real quick, because we're talking about American history. Matter of fact, let me go up. Let's read real quick. Of America on Holy Compact Day. We're going to come back down to that in a second. But let's run up here and say what's up to Iwata. Salute to the prophet of the Guatemala soil. Boy, he was bigger than anybody you ever seen in your life. That nigga walk in the room huge. Where we at? Iwata, where you at, boy? There you go. Eawahtaah, also known as Hiawatha. There you go. Screenshot that. Research it. We researching it now. Like, share, subscribe to the channel, y'all, if y'all getting some understanding. Spin a vortex for your little bro. Check out Iwata. Now, we know he ain't looking nothing like that. No, I'm playing. I don't know. That's just a photo. We don't really rock with the pictures. But let's say, who cares if he did look like that? What was his, let me read his, I'm going to go in my book now. I got the blue book in my lap right here, so I'm going to read it out of here because I don't see the same descriptions on that PDF version. So give me some time to flip to the front page of the blue book. Big blue in OSP. Iwata, page 310 in the blue OSP, if you have that. Iwata is a North American who was contemporaneous, lived during the same time with Poe, Abram, and Brahma. He was taller than any other man, with a bright, shining copper face. See, this face don't look copper. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what was going on with the fingers in the sketch artist's hands. But anyways, I ain't tripping on what he looked like. I don't really care at all. Who is Iwata? He is a North American who was contemporaneous with Poe, the prophet of China, with Abraham, Father Abraham, yes, that Abram, and Brahma. Lived during the same time. So Poe was in China, Abram was in Africa, and Brahma was in India. And Iwata was right here stomping over here, South Carolina, and through all of the regions of the Americas. He was taller than any other man, huge. The boy was bronze sized, bigger than bronze. And he had a bright, shining copper face. He established among North Americans of his time, what did he establish here? The worship of the Great Spirit. Huh? So at the same time, Abram was teaching about the Great Spirit in Africa. There was a Negro, copper-colored, tall as hell over here, teaching us about the Great Spirit here. Why, yes. That's exactly correct. Not only that, that's how Creator system and order works. He always going to have prophets lined in light together all over the different places of the world, teaching the same things, not differently in different places. No. They're going to be on the one together. If guess what? Brahma said, thou shalt not kill. Abraham said, thou shalt not kill. Is it because they grew up together? No. They didn't know nothing about each other for the most part until they met. Whenever they finally did, and was like, oh, snap. Bro, you just teaching like me. Oh, yeah, you teach like me. Oh, let me teach this too. Wait, oh, snap. Create a gang, all in this thing. You see that? That's how it works. So, Iwata was over here rattling off, thou shalt not kill. And his doctrines are still held by many of the tribes of native North Americans who refuse to accept any other God or Savior outside of the Great Spirit, the one ever present, all was, is, and ever shall be. Oh, no, I ain't worshiping no other Savior. Iwata established the United States of America. He established the United States of America, y'all. In Owaspie, it says it was a tall, bright, shining face, copper-colored, native indigenous North American named Iwata who established the United States of America of the North Americans, and it was called Opa Ego Quim or Algonquin. Now, I'm going to do this. Oh, wait, let me read this last sentence. The model of his independent nations, united in one, the model of it, the framework, the fabric of it, the foundation of it, was that which was adopted in the foundation of the present United States of America, America. God said it bless me. See, America was established by a Native American named Iwata, who was a prophet of the Creator. He's the reason the states were originally already built to be united in the Opa Ego Quim or Algonquin. Now, let me slide over. Oh, you can see on the thing. Ego Quim, the mighty, is coming. His son, behold him. He holds the keys of Yontante. Woo! The heavenly hunting ground. Come forth from your hiding. Come forth, oh my beloved, it is your heavenly Father calling. Come on home. The women heard. The little children with sore, bleeding feet heard. The proud, brave men listened. Uh-oh. And they said, why do we fight? Why do we destroy? Why? It is a wicked God. He called himself the Savior, the wicked monster. Ooh, the monster gods. Itura. Then came Iwata. Came first to the kingdom of Tukshin and to his queen, Chigun, in the land of Anagumahaha. The flatheads, the flatheads was like prophets or seers. But anyway, we'll talk about that anyway. But what'd he tell them? He told them all the words of the Great Spirit, Ego Quim. So, Ego Quim is another word for the Great Spirit, another name for the Creator. I told you, all names are Creator's names. He ain't tripping, he ain't quibbling over names. But over here in America, Iwata and his family members of faithists in the Great Spirit say Ego Quim. And if you look up, watch this. We're not done. I guess I'm going to get a little run in today because Yeah, we're gonna do this. Watch this. We're gonna do it like this. Where is the regions of Algonquins in the Americas today? I'm just putting up something out there. See what it pull up. Today, the Algonquin people, probably right in East Canada, that don't even sound right off top. See, you gotta be careful about using AI sometimes. But we'll see. We'll see how it all pan out. But let me just look if we can find a map. Hold on, real quick. I guess the Algonquins and migrators seem like right. That's what that's trying to show. But let me see. I guess that's right. We can look at it right here. Let's see, where's America? So this is the bottom of America right here, and this is actually correct from what I've seen. I don't know. This is saying the barbarous tribes, distribution of the barbarous tribes east of the Mississippi, Algonquin culture and map. But see, all I want to show you that the Algonquins is not fake. If y'all already know, most of us who know Black history and study indigenous Indians, see, here you go right here, Algonquin territory. That's again, that's Ontario, that's Canada. That's 1856. 1850s, 1867. Algonquin people today. My big bro Cosmon Cal and my big bro Open the Knowledge OTK, we always be rapping about all of this indigenous stuff. I tell you, bro, it's so much to learn about who you are, where we come from. And OWASP is showing you objectively. Like I'm not just making up the Algonquins. I know people probably like, who's Algonquins? You. Iroquois, you. Right? Natives. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Exactly what I was looking for. Thank you. Now, talking about Black people, copper-colored indigenous Negroes. We've been over here. This is just a little side clip. I know we got the slave ship history and the transatlantic slave trade, and we're gonna look at all of the history so we can get a comprehensive understanding of what's going on and why it's so important for us to have this liberty and freedom on this 4th of July. This holy compact day when Yeshua, well, he amen it too, when the Father said, no liberty, freedom. We don't worship no false gods, lords, saviors. It's one king. We have one king. We don't have a president, all these, no. I'm sorry. I respect government as far as the institutions. But there's one king who governs my soul from all sides. I don't need you. I don't need your government. Nah, Trump, I don't need it. Matter of fact, our people have fathers already. We have a structure of family units that operate higher than your standard of government does. Yeah, we don't need a family court system. We are the family court system. See that? We've been operating on this level. The Creator's energy has been inspiring us on this level since infancy. And now we have a practical way to bring it out and make it make sense. We're going to talk about governments too. Salute to all our Native American family and friends who were born in this land. This is our home. Yeah, America ain't just white European country. It never was their country. They came over here and tried to dupe us out of our own stuff, and we got the receipts to prove it. Salute to Mama Chief Powhatan. You know I love you, big sister. Yeah, I know I might have rubbed your feathers the wrong way a couple times, but trust me, we're gonna align your chieftainess crown. With both our feathers was shaking a little taste. You know what I'm saying? But it's all love because we all from the same place, the same instructions, the same great spirit telling us the same things. That this is our land, and ain't nobody finna come over here and try to dupe us out of it ever again. We'll shoot the false god down before we even let you know he hit the ground. You'd be wondering why your mind is so scattered and you're glitching and you're itching behind your ears and neck. Yeah. It's because of my foot is on your false god neck. With Iwata, the one who said, this is how you unite the nation. This is how you put 50 states on one. You got to start with ego quim, creator first, the great spirit. That's how you do it. All right. So let's keep getting back to this. Salute. This is a celebration of reparations of a whole nation. Give it all back. I want it all back. Everything that you do to me, I'm on it. I want it all back. It's a celebration. Y'all should be having fun. Turn on some music. You dig what I'm talking about? Holy Compact Day. You dig? Be safe. Let's get back to this. All right. Let me get back to the Book of Inspiration. I didn't believe this is book 34. Book of Inspiration. Oh, I speed, sky, earth, spirit. If you're getting some understanding, family, please like, share, subscribe, comment, spin some vortexes, say something. You know what I'm saying? This is a conversation. I'm not just talking to the air. And even if I was, it's still a conversation. You dig what I'm talking about? We need the inspiration as much as possible to keep us on the one. All right. Back to the Book of Inspiration, chapter, what was it, 15? Book of Inspiration, chapter 15, Holy Compact Day. And then we had jumped over to here and went down to Holy Compact Day. We was right here. All right, let me start this once again. Holy Compact Day. As Jehovah through his God bequeathed the children of Gautama a government unfettered by the name of God, Lord or Savior, so Jehovah I sanctified the day of the ratification and the signing and the sealing of his compact, the American Constitution, as the day of the Holy Seal. And Creator said, remember this day and keep it holy to the end of the world, for this was the beginning of the liberty of man. On July 2nd, 1788, in the land of America, the president of its then current government, the Congress of the Confederation, keyword Confederation, speaking on behalf of and for that government, formally announced that the heavily debated Constitution was now in effect, right now, still in effect, ain't it? Yep. And in other words, from that time forward, it was irreversibly the core document around which America's government would form itself, thus sealing the fate of the American states and people, and known from then on as the United States of America. Now, why Donald Trump ain't reading this to y'all? He's the president. Why ain't he reading this to you? Why am I doing it? Little country boy from Madera, born in 1988 on June 12th. What I say, 230-something years, 32 years ago? This was signed that long ago. Why take these niggas? I'm just saying. Thus, on July 2nd, 1788, the fate of the new American Constitution was sealed, made irrevocable for legitimacy, and had been passed down on that day, and without blood. Now that make you want to shout. Without bloodshed, from the old government to the new government. That's Holy Compact Day. That's 4th of July. This day coming up. It's coming up in like 5 days. We're about to have fun understanding, number one, this system of government was established first. The Confederacy was established by a copper-colored Algonquin prophet, son of Jehovah, who only established the worship of the Great Spirit here. You see what I'm saying? That was established by a black man. The whole idea of 50 states united in one is an idea inspired by a black prophet. Let that sink on your head. I can't understand how lovely that is. for all of us to understand that. It makes the celebration that much more potent to me. Salute to Iwata, man, and salute to everybody who understood the original signing of this government constitution, and who established the rights and the signs and all the stuff, man. This is a new world, a new government without bondage, but based upon liberty, common sense, and wisdom, without bloodshed. Come on, man, you can't get no more happier than that. Who want to be in a bloodshed type of society where they're oppressing you every day? Hold on, let's go up here. This is where we find it right here too. All right, so that was the Holy Compact Day. All right, let me read through this right here. This is the actual chapter. That what I just read right there, that was the explanation. This is verse 2, chapter 15, Book of Inspiration, Holy Compact Day. And let me start from verse 1 again. Holy Compact Day. As Jehovah through his God bequeathed to the children of Gautama a government, that's America. The American government was bequeathed by Jehovah through his God. Everybody talking about America is Babylon. America is this. America is the land of our captivity. Stop. Slow down. Wait. Hold on. I get it. Yeah, we always taught that. But was that a trick of us? To trick us out of our own land? Try to put us somewhere else? Is it? You judge. You figure it out for yourself. I already know. Nigga, this is the promised land. This is the land of liberty. This is our homeland. We built this mother sucker. Shut your mouth. Everything that's inspired on this country has not been from Caucasians. We built the whole thing. And they know. Donald knows. What you talking about? All the historians know. This is the time today. It's today right now for us to stop playing. Stop capping. The records, the books is open. The records is out. The information is burning like wildfire in California. Jehovah sanctified the day of the ratification and the signing and the sealing of his compact. His. The American Constitution is his. As the day of the Holy Seal. And for this sign he made a hand holding a quill, a pen, which shall be the master's sign, as salutation in the lodge on the day of the commemorating the same. The sign of that day is, I'm going to show this, my hand on the pen, y'all. And Jehovah made the answer to the sign, holding up the other member, a piece of paper signifying constitution. You gonna hold the paper, nigga. We doing this together on the one. I'm gonna write. This is the sign. Jehovah made the answer. Hold the paper, you hold the pen. Therefore it was said, the master saluted on the sign. Day of the Holy Seal. And the lodge answered in the sign, Constitution. And Jehovah said, Creator said, remember this day and keep it holy to the end of the world. For it was the beginning of the liberty of man. Be free. But you know, with your liberty comes what? Let's go to the top of the page. Go back to the cover. I ain't been on the cover in a minute. Yet with your freedom, with your liberty, you also attain to responsibility, so that sooner or later your fidelity to your Creator and to your fellow man in righteousness, love, and good works shall become the most sacred study of your life. We 2 hours and 4 minutes in, 35 seconds and counting. Listen, this has been a wonderful lesson and session. Oh, it's not done. It's not over. It's not over. I forgot. Freedom of the slaves. That's the whole point. Okay. Slave ships chains, lynching, slave masters, and the most diabolical things that our people have experienced. Just me saying those things, right? It's like, what the hell do we go through? How did we make it? There's no way we should have survived that. But our people, first of all, a lot of that stuff is conflated, by the way. A lot of our people was rebelling every day against slave master with the vengeance, with the storm of 1,000 hurricanes. It wasn't just no easy, oh, yes, sir, master. Oh, yes, sir, boss. Nigga, if you think that, Hollywood didn't dupe you. Because you don't know half the stuff our ancestors was doing to them white Europeans. And they still doing much until they rise higher. Trust me, y'all, hell is a thing. But you bring it on yourself. Creator don't got no help for none of y'all. Just higher heavens. But you gotta start here in mortality first. Slave master. If y'all knew anything about what happened, the reason why the Creator said, my people don't have no kings. My people don't have no gods and saviors. I am the only king, the only Lord, the only Savior. We know the system and order of the angels, but if you say Lord, right, this is just a comforting pillow for the people who tripping on that still in a weird place. If you say Lord, you talking about the Creator, He don't care. If you say praise the Lord, no, the Creator don't. If you're talking about to the Creator, He knows it, and He's not saying, "Oh, she called me Lord." You don't know nothing about the system and order of the heavens, nigga. Shut up. If you say Jesus, the Creator don't care if you say that. Not at all. And trust me, there's always going to be higher raised angels to come help you understand, even if you die believing in Jesus. But you better also believe that there's also stupid, wicked, drunk, dirty, drooge angels that have come really trying to pretend to be Jesus. And you won't see him as dirty, drunk, drooge. You're going to see an angel of light talking about, I'm the God of your father, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Bow down and worship me. And you're going to be looking at this nigga as a bright, shining angel. And now you can say, suck ass nigga, move on my way. I know I can see you, so you ain't Jehovah. You ain't no creator. You might be a God. But what you want? What's the message? Why are you knocking on my door? You know what I'm saying? You could do that now. But before, you would have thought Jesus was a man, and I'm going to see this nigga, and you're going to tell me, depart from me, I never knew you, and I'm going to be terrible and enslaved and dark and dirty and in a hell lake of fire. So you would have thought that, believing that. And the crazy part about it is, that has happened and does happen every day right now to people who think that the Creator is in the form and figure of a man, and when they die, they see a man sitting on a throne looking like nigga dripped from head to toe over gold, gleaming in the light, talking about I'm your God, and they fall into the trap and become a slave to a false God even after they're dead. See, that's the danger of not understanding that the Creator is not a man that you can see having form and figure. That's called idolatry. If you can see it and you worshiping it, it's an idol. 10 Commandments say, don't draw a picture of me in heaven above and the earth beneath or the waters beneath the earth. Why? Because I'm invisible, saith Jehovah. You can't see me. I'm everywhere. And if that's the case, if I'm present today, then point to me then. I dare anybody. See if you can point to the Creator. Point to him. Point to him. You understand what I'm saying? Because he's in all places, in all things. That's the first virtue. But if you see a thing, come on, and you worshiping it, you looking at it, it's not the Creator. It's the creation. It's been created. You see what I'm saying? So now we know why it's better to understand Creator's ever presence, in that we ain't finna get down with no false gods and no false lords and no false saviors, because we know the false saviors pretending to be Yeshua are really tyrants that's going to enslave you in the other side, in the lower heavens. But those of us who are already conscious of the Creator, we enter to the second resurrection above them niggas when we die, instantly. And if you don't, for some reason, at least you got a way to understand, Creator's still with you wherever you land. You just gonna have to level up and help your mans and your sisters and keep doing that till the next resurrection harvest comes. It's one on the way, I believe 2048 if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, I digress once again. We're talking about freedom. Talking about not being a slave and what happens to slave masters and slave owners and people who oppress and false kings. Yeah, you want to become a king. Check this out. We were talking about that. Capilia was saying one of the first virtues is to love your Creator above all else. No. He said that the Creator, Jehovah said, my people have no kings. Yeah, no, Israel never had kings until they wanted to choose Saul about the dunghill. Jehovah's always been the king of the true Israelites. The Hebrews fell into idolatry. The Jews worship idols. See that? The Israelites still rock with Creator, who's ever present and invisible. And we don't have no kings. You see what I'm saying? But those of us who, or not those of us, but to the unrighteous, the Creator gave kings to who? The unrighteous. Now check this cold shit out. A king is responsible for everybody below him. Everybody. Every single soul that you are ruling over as a king, dominating, as the highest light of your nation and all that, right? Ain't nobody higher than you, right? Guess what? Then everybody below you, nobody gets higher. No, you ain't gonna get higher than where you at until all of those people that you kinging over is above you. You got to raise every single one, just like there's your kids. Every single one, you got to raise them up, from the young to the old. You might have 1,000, 100,000, 200, 300, 400,000 people, 1,000,000, 600,000,000. How many people you want in your kingdom? And however many you take is however many you got to raise. And you ain't moving out your place and stationing wherever heaven you stationed or on earth until every single person in your nation is elevated above your head. They got to have a higher spiritual grade than you at the end of it all. And it's your responsibility to get them there. Sheesh. And don't mess around and become an evil king and start killing your own people that you're supposed to be protecting and providing and teaching. Yeah, you become an evil king and you kill them all and you start oppressing them, put them in slavery. Those spirits that you murdered, they got spiritual retaliation on your ass when you cross over there. Oh, yeah, and if you rich and you just living in luxury and you ain't lifting a finger and you got people doing all your stuff, you ain't even going to be able to move right in the spiritual world. You're going to be like a baby. Your head wobbly, can't keep your neck up, can't walk right because you ain't never got no spiritual development through corporeal services unto others and even for yourself. Everybody doing the work for you. So you're going to be helpless, naked and afraid and getting stomped on by all the people you oppressed, and that's hell for you. You brought that on yourself, though, slaver. You was the best slaver in the world. You brought that on yourself. Now, guess what? You're in hell, in a hell knot, getting stomped out by vicious, unforgiving, pain, traumatic people in trauma, chaotic spirits. Stomping on your head, king. Stomping on your head, slaver. So, liberty over here is established by us, by the Creator through us in our actions to be just good people and allow people to be free, think for themselves, because we can see the Creator speaking to them. We can see the Creator speaking to ourselves. And it's not rocket science. It's not spooky. You see? So, we're going to read about this Fallen Swords Day, which is in correlation with freedom, liberty, harmony, happiness on this 4th of July, that the Creator established the Constitution of America. Why ain't Donald telling y'all this? Y'all need to call, you know what I'm saying, these heads of state and tell them, hey, man, this is a book out here right now that's showing some American history type stuff that y'all might want to add to y'all campaigns. Or not. Because we're not the same. to be honest. The United States government functioning as the IRS and all of that shit, that's not us, people. We in the thick of it all, but that's not. Nigga, we gonna change it all. So stay inspired. Stay listening. Those who have an ear to hear, let's keep doing good. All right, Fallen Swords Day. Weapons down. As Jehovah through his God delivered Gautama's slaves into freedom, Jehovah through his God delivered us captives and dealt the final blow to general slavery. So Jehovah blessed that day. Oh yeah, that was a Hadouken. And it was a beautiful one. And it was a sanctified Hadouken. And Jehovah said, remember that Hadouken and proclaim it of freedom with your black fists in the air. For it is my day, which I bequeath to you as a day of freedom in all righteousness. Righteous jollification. So it's a celebration. Be happy, and you shall keep it year after year, reminding yourself of righteous jollification. Again, we free. No more slaves on me. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't slaves. And we're going to commemorate this freedom, this liberty, for how long? Until our world dissolves into supernova. Yes, the creator, the destroyer. On that day, when our earth supernovifies, we'll have the memory to commemorate the 4th of July. But, we're going to do this forever. Matter of fact, liberty has to do with emancipation, which was a proclamation given by Abraham Lincoln, which he was inspired to do because the creator ain't playing. Angels came to that nigga's earlobes and big ass earlobes and said, hey, homies, no, cut that out. Cut that part out of the whole shit. We're not doing that over here. This land is not meant for that. He is like, oh, snap. Okay. Let me revamp this. I thought we was finna get rich. Right? The slaves were proclaimed free on January 1, 1863. Here is the story. I know that don't say September 22nd. I know that don't say September 22nd. Salute to my man, one of my best friends in my entire life, man. Janelle, Alyssa, L. God, you are so special to me, man. I digress entirely. But that's a beautiful date. I didn't even know that. On September 22nd, 1862, in the midst of a civil war, President Abraham Lincoln of the United States of America issued a preliminary emancipation proclamation to be put forth formally into effect, if necessary, on January 1st, 1863. If those states in rebellion continued till then, the proclamation was to go into effect and their slaves declared free. Be free. On that day, January 1st, 1863, September 22nd, do you remember the 22nd day of September? We finna play all of that. Oh my God. He signed the Emancipation Proclamation and it was publicly proclaimed. The slaves were free. The war could not free the slaves, but the pen did. The pen was proved mightier than the sword. In reading the corporeal history of these events, one must keep in mind that Owaspy is given the spiritual side of the history, or rather, the history as seen from the spiritual perspective. Thus, while the OWASP authors relate primary motivations and broad sweeps, they cannot, in a generalized book like OWASP, elaborate on or even mention contributory fluctuations in policy or war events, nor other things that, from the mortal perspective, may seem to be important. Thus, while the Emancipation Proclamation did not end all slavery in the world, nor in the U.S., it took a later 1865 constitutional amendment to do that. It nevertheless, from the spiritual perspective of wisdom, dealt the final blow to general slavery. What a holy day. What a holy, compact day to remind us the pen is mightier than the sword and the Creator ain't never been with slavery, never sanctioned it, never would. Which also exposes under this Capricorn full moon the light of the false gods behind, who said, I'll put you, scatter you to the four corners of the world. Was that the Creator who said that? Or was that wicked woman, that witch? Yeah, we know who did it. We know false god killers over here in the creative gang, students of Millennium Zion. We know exactly which goddess got down and put that inspiration on them Jews and Hebrews and said, I'm gonna scatter y'all. Do what I say. Wicked woman. Asteroid. False god killers. Headshot. Yeah, she the one put y'all on slave ships. Thinking y'all from Africa. No, we from here. We might have some African in us. You know what I'm saying? For sure. We all mix, melt. It's a whole new race over here, basically, in America today. We so many melting pot, mixed up, Mexican, white, British. I mean, we can't even say really white no more. We can't even say that because that's not even a word. That's not a country. You see what I'm saying? We got German, Swedish, Polish over here. Now they didn't creep up. But the indigenous, we see when y'all came over here. We let y'all in the gates. You know what I'm saying? But just know something. We only worship one great spirit over here. He ain't about no slavery. And if y'all need the inspiration from your ancestors, well, we can pull back the veil and let you see what's going on. And go visit and pray for them too. But it's a dangerous thing to think that that's ever going to be a thing ever again. Because we already know our liberty comes from Creator. Ain't nobody taking it. I might title this Reparations. I think I might title this lesson Reparations. I was just going to title it Holy Compact Day. I might call it 4th of July Reparations. Because this is our nation. And ain't no God, false God, niggas, man, woman, going to tell any of us over here, Millennium Zion, anything different. We got confirmation. We got receipts. We got sources. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but we always studying. We always growing. We don't know it all. Don't nobody know it all. But we definitely know what we know. And we're going to share it in the highest light that we can. I love y'all so much, indeed, in the truth, man. I sure appreciate y'all for coming to rock with your little brother, Prince Judah Von Cosmo. I'm going to read this and I'm going to let y'all go. It says, first of all, everybody be free, man. Love yourselves, love your neighbors, love the Creator above all else, and we're going to be all right. All right, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is the way to divine healing. Follow the directions in this lesson, and you will renew your mind and transform your body and your affairs. Cooperate with us, salute, by giving the strength of your faith to the angel hosts, to the Creator ever present, who are here to benefit all humanity. Each time you concentrate with the angel hosts, as here described, feel that you can energize the words of this lesson by speaking them audibly or silently to the whole world. Feel that you have a work to do in proclamation and proclaiming the glad tidings that a new awareness has made us co-creators in building a better world. What you speak in quietness in your room will vibrate as a mental force through all human minds. That's prayer. Do your part to help broadcast the blessings of the angelic hosts of light. Put into the form of an affirmation every positive thought in the lesson. I appreciate y'all for tuning in today and for every word that you heard come across your ears. I pray it was a benefit in some way, shape, or form, both mortals and angels in S, as we all strive to do our best to be good people, increasing our talents and spiritual abilities, physically, spiritually, and collectively, individually as well. Love yourself. Love somebody else. Breathe in, keep that light in, and stay good, y'all. It's your friend, your best friend, Prince Judavon Cosmon, your little brother, coming to you live, man. We're going to be doing these lessons. The Faith is Talk Radio, Judavon Cosmon, the J-Pod podcast is in live in effect. And as soon as I get my laptop, this is the show that we're going to have people on. So right now, y'all just hearing me talk and ramble on, but when I get the J-Pod podcast popping, we're going to have more people come on. I do have some lives that I share the platform where y'all hear me, go back and forth. But this one is just going to be a little bit more free and kind of just, I already know my friends. I know the niggas I'm going to be having on the show. I know who's coming through. I know some of them going to be tough around the corners for y'all, to listen to some of the stuff. So I just want y'all to be prepared. This is going to be more of a parental discretion is advised, you know what I'm saying? But it's still Faith is Talk, so it ain't finna be nothing extra wild. But, you might hear niggas clowning on somebody God or stomping on a false God. You might hear some let me go. You might hear some of that stuff in the background. You might hear some, you know what I'm saying? You might hear some of that. But you also gonna hear some of that. We're gonna laugh a lot. We're gonna talk about real stuff and we're gonna get it off our chest, man. Tune in to the Faith is Talk podcast, J-Pod podcast, Faith is Talk, Millennium Zion students of Jehovah's Kingdoms, plural, worlds without end in the Cosmon era. With your little brother, Prince Judavon. Once again, thank y'all so much for coming on. I hope y'all have a great 4th of July. And, you know what I'm saying? Keep y'all smiles on. Oh, man. That's what it's about right there, man. That joy coming from them babies, man. Y'all let them babies pop them fireworks. Now I sound like one of them old heads. I remember when I was a Hebrew, right? We used to talk mess. Y'all letting them babies, y'all just lying to the babies, letting them do Christmas and all that. Boy, listen. If you ain't got a higher light to give to somebody else, let them have fun. Because you ain't the one that's giving them the joy that they feeling in their stomach. It ain't coming from you in no way. You know what I mean? So on 4th of July, Holy Compact Day, we are free to laugh, free to be safe, have fun, big fun. What else did I put on here? Honor the Creator, honor your parents, and have gratitude. Let me just read this from the top, and then I'm out your way. I might throw a beat on, then I'll slide. Millennium Zion, students of Jah's Kingdom in the Cosmon era, Holy Compact Day, 4th of July. One nation under a groove, indivisible, with liberty and responsibility to move for the all in all. Freedom to create, to serve, to worship in harmony and beauty. Liberty, faith, creation, harmony, and righteousness. Inspired by eternal light of liberty, faith, creation, harmony, and righteousness, built on freedom, guided by righteousness, united in purpose, in honor of our Creator, in gratitude of our liberty, and in commitment to our destiny. All praises to the all parent, the all father, the all mother, the all that was, is, and ever shall be, the highest light that we can conceive, right? Man, this is finna be fun, y'all. Y'all enjoy yourselves. Let me find something to throw on a little beat real quick. I find some, that was YouTube right there. This was fun. This was fun. I just need to get over here. I got some beats, man. I gotta update this playlist because we got so much music coming out with the Creator Gang. So I'm like, yo, I need to really get into this. Oh, let me salute to the homies, man. That's right here. This Selah Shalom. Y'all see the dreadhead right there at the top of the screen? That's my big brother Selah Shalom. Y'all go over here, like, share, subscribe to my big brother Selah Shalom's channel. He's the first Negro to bring this OWASP to YouTube, period. Nobody was talking about OWASP. It was published in the public domain in 2007. And I believe it was like 2008. This nigga had the first videos or somewhere around there. He was just popping them up, teaching heavy lessons. See what the title is, Sonships. You know what I'm saying? The 5 sons of Noah, what they call the ships, the fleets of the Ark of Noah. So we can get into all of this. A real man can turn. I got so much stuff I'll be watching, man. But Jehovah Chronicles, salute to my brother Cosmon Cow. He just cooked the lesson yesterday. So funky, boy. Y'all better go over there and figure out how this creation thing's spinning. How this thing going up and down in this vortex. If y'all want to learn about true higher sciences, OWASP got a lot of that. And like I said, we just building. It's just, OWASP is just a prerequisite. We're going to pass OWASP eventually. But right now, we got it to learn and absorb and eat it up. You know, we ate the little book. Now it's time to eat up this big book. Right? Salute to George Clinton, all the funk family, all the hip-hop heads. We love it. Salute to my brother Daryl Cosmon, the scientist, mad scientist behind the scenes. I think he got a lesson coming up, too, in a couple of days. And then Malachi Maccabee just dropped off a bomb that was... Woo! If you saw that megaton light bomb hit, just put megaton light bomb in the comments. If you saw Malachi Maccabee drop that megaton light bomb today, earlier before I started talking, then just put megaton light bomb 7 or something like that. Because that boy was up from heaven, boy, just boom, 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 pow. I'm like, damn, headshot, nigga, body blow, nigga, Hadouken. All of that, boy, was dropping today. My boy Malachi wasn't playing. And he did it so surgically, man, so laid back. I'm like, man, this nigga cool, boy. Salute to my big brothers, man. 4 horsemen of the Creator Gang. Y'all already know what it is. And we got my brothers Bronze Yogi and Yahweh Yah in the building. Yeah, we got my brother FGK Capone with the undergrads. That's a good joint. I want to see if I do let's do it like this. I'm gonna do Bang Bang first, and then I'm gonna do Refine. No, then I'm gonna do Godson freestyle, and then I'm gonna do Refine Myself, and then we out, y'all. So y'all just kick back, vibe out. Thank you for joining me for another session of Millennium Zion. Students of God's Kingdoms trying to learn all we can and do the best we can for our nation on this 4th of July celebration. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna stay safe. We're gonna eat good. You know what I'm saying? Feel good. So let's rock out. Y'all already know what it is. We got that good stuff. Bless up. This is your boy Bronze Yogi Productions. Let's get it.
Got money for war, but can't feed the poor. So I roll up. They wanna bang bang on the yogi. Negative thoughts don't stand a chance. They wanna bang bang on the yogi. Meditation is my dance. The ever-presence told me to wise up. Take the gang and rise up. No heroes, no leaders, no egos. From where the blues play to Cali, USA. That's dreadful, but in a good way. Celebrate the creation.
Now,
Cleaner.
Now this my little cousin, y'all. Salute to my little cousin Jay Dizzle doing the Thug Thizzle. This the true JD. Bless up.
Water without all the plastic. Skip the bottles. Filter your water at home with Aquasana. Better for your body.
Yeah, y'all go like, share, subscribe to my cousin's channel. True JD. Y'all look at the link and go check him out, man. My boy doing his Thug Thizzle, P. Bless up. Salute to the young God in training.
Better for the planet.
That shit coming to me. I'm in my section, hanging with Smith, hanging with Weston. How you get strapped in the club and not get arrested? Not like the next one, man, that's really a blessing. All that crime didn't pay, ain't that depressing? Dope flip, we need more angels. That bitch did not work, you need more angles. Play in the streets, you will get tangled. Say no to all strangers, say yes to all bangers. Straight belts, yeah, I spank them. More stripes, I outrank them. Pour more in my cup, yeah, we up. I kept drinking, his yard, yeah, it's blanking. Break it down, roll it up. Now this nigga stinking, like my diamonds, they clanking. We don't get no fucks. Straight mobbing, got my foot on the gas. Dog food on a fish scale, how long can I digital dash? You get high with 12 on your ass. Cash money, bitches, fold, chop it, let it sing. Like calling me bad. Dead on arrival's door, suicidal. I got the title, best in the world. You be here if you knew I knew. Money coming in, everything on me, no matter who around. Make sure everybody gon' eat, okay. Bitch, you wildin', talk your shit. Real G's move in silence. Put the time in Millie Plus, or I'm not signing. Plain Jane watch or dripped in diamonds. Dripped in diamonds. Which one I'm buying? One I'm buying.
Bless up. We gotta run that back, boy. That boy came with that heat. Nigga said, nigga, what? Hold on, say it again. That shit coming to me. I'm in my section, hanging with Smith, hanging with Weston. How you get strapped in the club and not get arrested? Not like the next one, man, that's really a blessing. All that crime didn't pay, ain't that depressing? Dope flip, we need more angels. That bitch did not work, you need more angles. Play in the streets, you will get tangled. Say no to all strangers, say yes to all bangers. Straight belts, yeah, I spank them. More stripes, I outrank them. Pour more in my cup, yeah, we up. I kept drinking, his yard, yeah, it's blanking. Break it down, roll it up. Now this nigga stinking, like my diamonds, they clanking. We don't get no fucks. Straight mobbing, got my foot on the gas. Dog food on a fish scale, how long can I digital dash? You get high with 12 on your ass. Cash money, bitches, fold, chop it, let it sing. Like calling me bad. Dead on arrival's door, suicidal. I got the title, best in the world. You be here if you knew I knew. Money coming in, everything on me, no matter who around. Make sure everybody gon' eat, okay. Bitch, you wildin',
talk your shit. Real G's move in silence. Took the time and Millie Plus, or I'm not signing. Plain Jane watch or drifting diamonds. Drifting diamonds. Which one I'm buying? One I'm buying.
That's a banger for sure. Bangers all day.
What am I no 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 no? What am I no 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 no? What am I no 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 no? What am I no no no? What am I no no no? All I wanna breaking free from the darkness that I once so kept. Cutting off the angle where the shadows swell. Aspire to the light where the angels dwell. Every day I'ma rise to refine myself. Breaking free from the darkness that I once so kept. Cutting off the angle where the shadows swell. Aspire to the light where the angels dwell. Every day I'ma rise to refine myself. I was walking with a weight on the back of my mind. Old patterns in my steps trying to keep me confined. But the voice of the wind said leave it behind. Let the higher grades pull you where the spirits align. I've been wrestling with the shadows like a lifelong test. Trying to clear out the bad habits, stole my best. Purify thought, let the mind find rest. Feel Jehovah in the breath moving through my chest. No anger in my heart, no revenge I chase. I return good for evil with a warrior's grace. When the ego get loud and I'm crashing the gate, I only pray that Jehovah cast light in my space. Cycles of the arcs got me watching for signs. Pray at dawn, noon, and night, keeping peace on my timeline. These days a new test from the nest we climb. With aim to raise the grade as a soul refined. Breaking free from the darkness that I once so felt. Cutting off the angle where the shadows swell. Aspire to the light where the angels dwell. Every day I'ma rise to refine myself. Breaking free from the darkness that I once so felt. Cutting off the angle where the shadows swell. Aspire to the light where the angels dwell. Every day I'ma rise to refine myself. Pure food, pure thought, that's the vow I take. Let the beast life go for Jehovah's spake. No poison in the body that the world might make. Lion's mane is my chicken, portobello's my steak. I've been learning that refinement don't happen overnight. It's a bunch of small things that keep stacking in the light. Every lust I deny makes the spirit ignite. When you lost the past, seem incoherently bright. I don't condone war, won't bless no blade. No blood on my hands, ain't a man I hate. Laboring for others, let the soul make great. Watch for the snakes that lay await in the shade. Hold to the right when the wrongs arise. Stop the lower self when the ego rise. Praise grow high as the old ways die. And I move with the text that Jehovah provide. Breaking free from the darkness that I once so felt. Cutting off the angle where the shadows swell. Aspire to the light where the angels dwell. Every day I'ma rise to refine myself. Breaking free from the darkness that I once so felt. Cutting off the angle where the shadows swell. Aspire to the light where the angels dwell. Every day I'ma rise to refine myself. I've been speaking to my past like you good, we done. All that chaos you carried had me always on the run. But I'm cleaner in the spirit since I let you be one. Of the lessons, not the leader, now the light gets spun. Used to chase after things that would fracture my mind. Now I sift every motive just to see what I find. If the shadow try to whisper, I don't press rewind. I just breathe, let it pass, leave the noise behind. Refinement got me moving with a whole new stride. Putting books to the test when the text collide. It's a quiet kind of growth, not a show, not a slide. Just peace getting louder on the spiritual side. Ain't no rage in my frame like it used to be. I can talk to cops now without them shooting me. If a thought turn foul, I give it scrutiny. Cause a watch got the tools to set your future free. Breaking free from the darkness that I once so felt. Cutting off the angle where the shadows swell. Aspire to the light where the angels dwell. Every day I'ma rise to refine myself. Breaking free from the darkness that I once so felt. Cutting off the angle where the shadows swell. Aspire to the light where the angels dwell. Every day I'ma rise to refine myself.
The day of. All right. One more for the children of Gautama from one of our mamas. Let's see, I don't want to get back to the search. Let me see. for me to tap it because it is I sure appreciate y'all kicking it with me this long. Today, it's a celebration. Again, we chilling. So y'all my friends today, we kicking it, and I'm trying to find this last song. But oh, there we go. All right, so we're gonna do salute to the Davis family. My mama maiden name is Davis, and I am a Davis, but I'm also a Jackson. And now to put some action behind that, you know what I'm saying? But we're gonna go to Angela Davis, salute cousin, and we're gonna go to what's the that's a shame it ain't just popping up. That's crazy. I have to type down there the whole thing in for this to come up. What is that? The original? I just want the song. What the heck? What's going on? Hold on real quick. Angela Davis, America the Beautiful.
Angela Davis, America the Beautiful.
Is that the song? Let me just put song. What in the heck? Hold on. Let me do it this way. I'm gonna take it on my Facebook page real quick because I already posted it. Maybe I'm getting the title wrong.
Lift every voice.
I don't know why my mind going. Lift every voice and sing. That's the one we're gonna close on. And I want y'all to be safe and enjoy this freedom that we got, this liberty that our ancestors fought for, sang for, bled for. And I guess that is the one. I thought it was a different one. I don't know why I thought that this was Angela Davis, the revolutionary, singing that. This one say 222. Let me see if this is the right one.
I have completely abandoned ChatGPT. It just keeps failing me time after time after time, and I just can't.
Ladies and gentlemen, to perform Lift Every Voice and Sing, please welcome educator, recording artist, and University of Michigan and Wayne State University alum, Detroit's own Angela Davis.